Sophia Mahmood is a Year 6 teacher at Briarfield Walter Street Primary School in Nelson, Lancashire.
All right, make sure you've eaten all your lunch.
As a single mum to 8-year-old Hassan, she's found that the full-time roles of teacher and parent leave her with no time to just be Sophia.
I decided to contact Teachers TV for help because I realised that if anybody needed advice in getting a life-work balance, then it would be me. I would be the ideal candidate for that. This was not a pleasant sight. The time I spend with Hassan is the only life balance I do have because I totally commit myself to him. But apart from that, there is no work-life balance. Everything is work, work, work.
During the week, Sophia, like many teachers, follows the same routine.
You're all the way up here.
6.
If I had more spare time, I'd like to ski more, swim more, use my gym more, and I'd also like to read more. I'd like to pick up a book, start it and finish it.
Well, Sophia, today's your lucky day because Teachers TV is sending its very own life coach, Gladina McMahon.
I'm hoping that she'll be able to give me some ideas, some clues as to how I can still prepare my lessons, deliver my lessons in a way in which I'm satisfied with them, not feel the guilt of spending too little a time preparing them and still get the same level of job satisfaction.
Sophia's prayers are about to be answered as Gladina arrives at the school.
It's Gladina.
Hello. Hello, I'm Gladina McMahon.
Sophia Mahmood, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So, Sophia, tell me, how can I help?
I'm looking for advice in the sense that I feel that I work excessive hours. I work extremely hard because I feel a real commitment towards school, towards the children. I do feel that I put in sometimes too much effort, but I'm of the nature where I like to know that my lessons are planned properly, and when you've got 4 or 5 lessons in a day, I do tend to put a lot of preparation time into each and every one of those lessons because I really don't want to be caught out at any point by a child being unable to answer the questions. I feel that sometimes I don't give myself enough time, and I would like your advice into how I could learn to cut off from school and stop and think about myself rather than feel such an obligation and a commitment to the school and the children.
It sounds like there's 2 parts in that driving, that one part of it is like a desire to make sure that the kids get the kind of teaching you want them to have and kind of get that really sort of, you know, that enjoying, if you like, learning. But there also sounds like another part where you haven't quite worked out when enough is enough.
That's right, yes. Because I love my job and I like to think that I do the best for those children, and they go on and achieve the best that they can in their lives. Otherwise I'm in the wrong profession.
So if we had a magic wand and we could give you some more time, what would you actually do with this time?
I'd like to have the opportunity to socialise more. I sometimes don't contact my friends as often as I should. And I'll be in the danger of losing some very close friends. I'd love to have the opportunity to read more. I never really pick up a book and finish it because preparing for the lessons will take me late into the night. I've set up a gym at home to enable me to get fit, to exercise. But because I'm working throughout the evening, it just collects dust, basically, which is really rather sad.
You deserve a life.
Definitely. Yes, because I see everybody around me having one, and I sometimes wonder how they manage it, and I don't.
Is that how you've always been, giving 110% all the time?
When I think back, yes, I have been. I've always done a lot with myself, but then since having Hassan and being housebound in that respect, I try it and do things at home, but I always let school take over.
If we sort of project forward, say 15 or 20 years, what do you think is going to be the downside of going on the way that you are?
I'm going to probably feel that I've wasted a lot of time because I didn't have, or because I never sat back and reflected on how I could find those shortcuts.
So it sounds like there's a lot of reason for you to, shall we say, take yourself in hand.
Yes, definitely, lots of reasons. Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell me that you think is important?
Yeah, there is one thing, and maybe it's me being naive, but I always had the impression, I was brought up to believe that if you work hard, you will be rewarded. And I feel that for all my efforts, I'm not rewarded. And I've taken on steps to enhance myself within my career by taking a year out unpaid leave of absence to study for a master's degree, and still I'm waiting to reap the benefits. The school needs to provide me the opportunities now to move on with my career.
Okay.
After seeing all my achievements and all my hard work.
And how good are you at letting people know all of this?
Probably not as good as I should be. I'm not of the character where I like to boast about my successes.
Well, I think I need to go away and do a little bit of thinking, and I think we need to have another chat a bit later.
Okay. Yeah, I'd look forward to that.
It's time for a literacy class as Gladina observes Sophia at work.
What kind of texts are we looking at this week in literacy? Poetry. Give me of your bark, O birch tree, of your yellow bark, O birch tree, growing by the rushing river, tall and stately in the valley, like a yellow water lily. Now what I'd like you to do, reread that together and try and work out, first of all, how many syllables in each line. Out for each
How long did it take you to plan for this particular lesson?
I'd say from about 30 minutes to about 45 minutes. The bulk of that time was doing background reading, digesting it, feeling comfortable that I had enough subject knowledge to deliver the lesson.
And how often have you needed all that information?
Not often, to be honest. But I feel a sense of security if I've got it at hand. It's rare that somebody will ask a teacher a question that catches you out.
So what's the worst thing that could happen if you did?
I'd just ask the children to go home and find out. Yeah, and I would save myself a lot of work. Marianne, how many syllables per... Say that line again. Sorry.
Hi, Sophia. Are you still here?
I certainly am, yes.
Is this what it's like every night?
Almost, yes. Marking the books.
Uh-huh.
I try not to take the books home because then I can spend time on my lesson preparations for the next day.
So that's it for tonight, is it?
That's the pile, the numeracy pile. I'm just trying to complete the literacy pile of books, and then there's the science from today to do as well.
Oh, so just one or two things then?
Yeah.
As the minutes go by, Sophia diligently works and Hassan patiently waits. Finally, it's home time and chance for Gladina to watch Sophia at home.
5. Oh, Hassan. Oh, no. You have to roll the dice, remember? All ready for bed? Yes. Sleep time.
Do you know, it's wonderful when a plan comes together. I think I've actually worked out what Sophia needs to do. We've got to tackle those 3 areas that she came up with earlier. Time for me to go and get her. Well, Sophia, here we are, and it's been an interesting journey with you, watching what you do and listening to what you say. And we've come up with 3 areas that you've highlighted. The first area is as a teacher and being a good teacher, which you are. Now, you were talking about over-preparing because you're concerned that a student might ask you a question that you can't answer. However, when I said to you, how often does that happen? I think you were a little caught out.
That's true, I was, yeah.
So what I want to know is, time-wise, how much time per night do you put towards studying?
Monday to Friday, I would say at least 2 hours.
At least 2 hours, right.
Yes.
I would like you to get a little alarm clock. It's going to be cut to an hour and a half.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
And whatever is done in an hour and a half will be good enough.
Right, yeah.
Now, the second area you spoke about was your career development and that you have had some disappointment and that it's kind of made you think about where you're going, the fact you always believed if you worked really hard and you did and you put a lot of hours in that really it hasn't paid back. And part of you's had this belief system that actually people should notice this. Sometimes we think that we ought to be noticed, but actually we become part of the woodwork.
Yes, I
Yeah.
understand.
And that's not meant to be unkind, it's just that we've been there a long time and everyone's used to us being a certain way. So what I want you to do is to devise a strategy for yourself where you will go and speak to the key people that you have identified as being those who can assist you with your thinking about how to move on.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
And there's one thought I want to leave you with also on that area, not for now, but maybe for the future. And that is a lot of teachers, I think, sometimes get very comfortable in a school. However, sometimes there comes a point where, you know, we have to think about the future and possibly, is it or is it not moving towards management somewhere else?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I'm just thinking about you in this fantastic school, because it is a lovely school,
Yeah, it is.
talking to some of the key people about your development,
Okay.
because they're not mind readers.
Yeah, I do appreciate that. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, the third area was get life.
Okay.
Yeah, because you haven't got one at the moment.
No, not really.
Now, we have half an hour shaved off each day. Okay, so if we've got that half hour, you need to promise me you're going to do something only for you in that half an hour.
Okay.
How feasible do those 3 areas sound to you?
They seem like goals that I can achieve. Yes. Yeah.